Have you ever felt like the world just wasn't built for somebody like you? Like you're constantly trying to fit into a puzzle where the pieces just don't match? I've been there. For over half of my life, I lived in chaos, confusion and isolation until I found a way to break free. Let me share with you how I turned my life around and created something that I call ultimate divergence. Growing up, my life felt like one big mess. I didn't know why I always felt different, like I didn't belong, like I was always trying to keep up in a world that I absolutely did not understand whatsoever. Trauma, addiction and mental health struggles became my daily reality. I was completely lost. I had no idea what was wrong, why I couldn't seem to feel like one of the normal people. It wasn't until I turned 50 that I realised I was on the autism spectrum. I'd begun to suspect that I might be around the age of 40, but I had an aversion to mental health labels due to early life experiences, and it took me another 10 years before I decided to do the online autism quotient test. When I saw my results, everything clicked into place. All of the struggles I'd faced, the isolation I'd experienced, even my many exceptional abilities, they all made sense now. But here's the thing. I'd already spent many years healing myself before I realised I was on the spectrum, and I'd managed to overcome many of the struggles associated with autism. And that was the surprising thing. By unknowingly being on the spectrum, I'd managed to stay completely outside of traditional ways of thinking about autism, and that's what made all the difference for me. You see, by managing to stay completely outside of the mainstream view of mental health and unknowingly being on the spectrum, I inadvertently managed to discover something quite incredible. That in regards to autism and its many challenges, much healing is possible. I realised that within myself, autism hadn't been the real problem. My real challenge had been with the many traumas and emotional pain that I've been carrying around within myself for more than half of my life. And once I started healing that emotional pain, my whole life began to change. So how did I do it? Well, through various emotional healing techniques I encountered during my journey that helped me to release the emotional weight of my past. And that healing opened doors within me I didn't even realise existed. It helped me to see autism as a unique part of who I am and not as a limitation. Through autism, I've learned how to navigate life in my own unique way using patterns and systems and creative thinking. The journey hasn't been about fixing myself. It's been about understanding and embracing who I truly am. When that last piece of the puzzle, realising that I was on the spectrum, clicked into place, my true life's purpose began to reveal itself to me. So I bought a bus that I could live in, and I found a beautiful lake out in the middle of nowhere to move next to. And in that space for the next 4 years, being completely surrounded by nature, I continued my healing journey and deepened that sense of peace and tranquility within myself, which eventually led me to completely accepting who I truly am. This completely freed up my mind, and in that space, everything I'd learnt during my journey, all of the insights and epiphanies, began to coalesce into what I now call the ultimate divergence model of autism. Ultimate divergence is about breaking free from mainstream ideas of autism and finding your own unique path to healing and empowerment. It's about turning your many challenges into strengths and stepping into the life you are truly meant to live. So if you've ever felt trapped or misunderstood or like the world wasn't made for someone like you, then know this, there is a way forward. You don't have to live your life inside the labels or feel limited by what others say about what autism should be. Your journey can be different and it can be yours. So if my story speaks to you and you want to learn more about ultimate divergence and how I turn my greatest tragedies into my greatest triumphs while being on the spectrum, then I think that this video over here is just what you're looking for.